basically, you know, one big barrier is that our language barrier. And I think it just shows in that same thing what Shaggy said, the respect that they have for our mental capacity star. Nothing like I had the same experience where Shaggy would tell me that and I'd be like, well, I hope that don't happen to me. And to tell the real truth, it has happened. When I went into VP Records, I had to try to convince them, which was they're Jamaican stuff, but because they have to spend money, people are like that, you know, when they have to spend money, they have to make sure, as then we lose them job. So I understand that aspect of it, but when the whole business is looked at like that, it really leave a dampen to the smaller genres of music. Like we have sold, Shaggy sold 15 million records worldwide. I have sold so far 6 mil plus the little 2 that come in here now. Other people have sold hundreds of thousands of records collectively put together, Beanie Man, you know, and the rest of the fraternity. See? So when you look at it in comparison to like a Celine Dion and a rock group like a Linkin Park who sells millions of records, then you understand now that we still have a way to go. We still have a way to go to prove ourselves to people and to prove our capacity, you know, the mentals that we have on us. Not that you're moving forward to do something. Not that we're just happy-go-lucky. Because I think that's what people view us as. And they have that opinion in their mind, and no matter how business-like I come to them and how much times you do prove it to them, it is like, well, it's me, I have to spend the money, you know, so I don't want to spend it wrong. So I'm going to take a chance with this dude. And anything that wrong happen, the company turn them back almost. What reason why, you know, because each department I've noticed is doing their own thing, and different artists are on the roster, and when this one is doing well, they're like, yo, this is gonna make me look good, it's gonna make me keep my job. When he stop doing so well, it's not like them don't care about you, you know. Like your record starts slowing down or your album comes out and not doing so well, it lukewarm, they're like, oh, what's here that looks good? So and so is selling good, I'm gonna work on this shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I've seen them do. And so VP Records has been like that, but on a much bigger scale, I can say that what VP Records helped me to do was be as a stepping stone. And they were a young company, so I can't really cuss. But coming into Atlantic, I had to prove to them that I was going to sell more records than certain people, or that I was going to have a long-lasting career. So we did that in the first album. We had arguments about which single was to come next, and what shows we wanted to get on, and in terms of TV shows like the Jalen and them and the, you know, the different things like that. And you have to say, yo, I can go on that show. I can sit down and talk on that show. What? No, I don't have to only perform. And they only got my performances. I say, yo, I can sit down and tell a joke and bust joke after man like Jalen. and you know, become a personality out there. I can do that. But them they also, they are going to jail and they're going to these different people and say, we have Sean Paul, and them say, who? And them introduce me like, Sean Paul, because, and the accent thing, because they are not aware that we are aware of them. We watch them show every day. They don't hear or listen to us every day. So I'm a phenomenon to them. People like us is a phenomenon to them. So when the record company goes to them, people, they're like, okay, and he's pushing us. Sean is like, yo, get me on that show. I can be like interviewed on it. Get me an interview. Get me something like, alright, we're going to do it for you. Boom. Who is that? They're like, okay, he's selling a lot of records here, but these corporate people, they still don't really know him to that, or don't trust him to that level. I remember going on some of those shows at first, and people coming to interview me backstage to see if, and they said to me actually, maybe if you go through this good interview and the lady backstage, which is not even being filmed or nothing, she's just writing down what I say. If she like me, I might get to be asked a couple questions after the performance. I was like, for real? So them things that make me nervous too. But anyway, she come and she interview me, and then she goes so boom, and she goes off, and I didn't get to be interviewed on none of them shows it. So maybe it's things like that that still our trust is not given to us on full by a record company. You know, things like, you know, people get a record deal and they get a whole label for themselves off a record, and then not everybody in that label does well, so they lose the record, the record deal and whatnot, and so they're still not trusted by these record companies. But them things happen in everyday life, you know what I'm saying? So these companies use that now to look and say, I want to keep my job. These are Jamaican people, or that person over there, so I don't think, you know, that genre of music, soca, calypso music or whatnot, they ain't willing to go the full mile with you. I'm sure, I've seen it firsthand. You just have to know that in the reggae music industry and go, because this is how I've been doing it, and it's been proven to me to sell quite a few records. I go into the project with my own thing. Album done, if it's skits on it, it's me produce them. If it's pictures on it, me take them. If it's an CD, I do it. I do it with my own money. The first album I do it with my show money and my dub plate money together. Second album I got help from artist Force VP, shoot a video for, you know, and I did it. And the third album now, the second album was intact with Atlantic now, and I had to prove myself to them. I knew which single to pick because they wanted to drop Light Blue at first. And I was like, yo, no.
What, before Give Me the Light?
No, after Give Me the Light,
yeah,
they wanted to drop Light Blue. And I was like, you know, in Jamaica, that's how it was. But now, Get Busy is a tune. I'm not telling a lie. The rhythm Duale is blowing up all over Jamaica, Jamaican circles, the whole Caribbean, everywhere where you're going in England. If you go Brixton, you're gonna hear Duale rhythm. If you go over in New York City, down in Brooklyn, and so you're gonna hear Duale rhythm. It's done worldwide because of our channels. And they're like, oh, for real? So, and I'm like, we need that base audience.